Full expensing of assets finishes on 30 June 2023. Why is that an issue? If you don't have your asset installed and ready for use before the 30th of June 2023, you won't be able to take advantage of full expensing of assets. Now, that's an incentive that was brought in during COVID by the federal government to incentivise you to purchase and invest in new equipment to try and kickstart the economy during the COVID situation. That was extended from 2022 through to the 2023 year, but it ends on 30 June 2023. Now, if you're a small business, then you will be eligible for that. There are thresholds for being able to access the full expensing of assets. Now, what that does is instead of depreciating your asset over a number of years, you get an immediate deduction for the asset in the year in which not just you pay for it, but the year it's first used or installed ready for use. So that's the key thing there. So if you order an asset now, but it's not received until after the 30 June 2023, you won't be able to access the full expensing rules. That means you'll have to depreciate it using the depreciation rules applying after 30 June 2023. So it's important to act now and get that asset in place if you're looking to claim full depreciation, full expensing of the asset upfront. So there was no threshold or cap put on the full expensing of assets. That was removed, but all good things come to an end. So on 30 June 2023, that full expensing regime is going to finish. Now, there are new provisions for small business that have been announced in the 2023 federal budget, and they'll apply to assets purchased, installed and ready for use after 30 June 2023 this year. So what does that mean? Should you actually run out and buy assets that will allow you to access the full expensing rules? Well, that depends. It depends on, firstly, do you actually need the asset? If you don't need the asset, the question is, well, why are you spending it just to get a tax deduction? Because if you spend $100 and your company tax rate is 25%, you're only saving 25%. If you don't actually need the asset, save the cash flow. Look at other ways that you can improve the efficiency of your business. Do you actually need the asset? That's a key thing. The second thing is, can you get the asset before 30 June? There are delays still on some products, some things, particularly motor vehicles or trucks. So you do need to start planning now. If you're going to have place an order now, but you're not going to get the asset until, say, October, November 2023, then you're going to miss out on full expensing of assets. So think about that as well. Are you going to need finance to purchase the asset? If you're going to need finance to purchase the asset, get started now. Don't leave it till the 30th of June. Don't leave it a couple of days before. Get started now, because there will be a delay in getting finance. Access to finance has become more and more complicated. Banks and financiers are expecting more information from you, and there's a lot more that you have to go through to get your finance approved. So think about that. Think about, can you, firstly, get your asset? Can you make a purchase? Can it be delivered? Can it be installed and ready for use before 30 June? Can you get finance? Can you afford to have this asset? Do you need it? So those are some things to think about in the decision of whether to buy it. Do you have to apply full expensing of assets? Well, no, you can opt out. You can opt out if it is more beneficial for you. And you might like to do that to spread your depreciation over future years. And that might give you a better position in terms of presenting your information for the future, or it might just even out how you recognise your expenses. And that may be an advantage to you. You may be creating a loss situation by accessing this full expensing of assets. So you might be bringing forward expenditure to get access to the full expensing provisions, and that's going to create a tax loss for you. Now, if you're operating as a company, you may be able to offset that loss against prior year profits, assuming you've got prior year profits. If you don't have prior year profits available under those rules, you're not going to get access to the loss carryback, so you may be better off not actually purchasing. You may be better not creating that loss. If you're in a profit situation and you need the asset, certainly bring forward the expenditure. Bring forward the expenditure, bring forward the timing of your tax deduction now, before the 30th of June, and maximise the value of it. Because saving tax now in this financial year is better on your cash flow than saving it in a future period, particularly if you're going to buy the asset, because if you purchase the asset in June, you're going to get a shorter payback on your tax deduction. But if you buy it in July, you're not going to get the benefit of that tax deduction until the following year when you lodge next year's 2024's tax return. So a couple of things there. Full expensing of assets finishes on 30 June 2023. Do you need the asset? How is your cash flow? Do you need to fund it? Do you need to start working on getting finance now? And is it really going to provide the tax benefit for you? Lots of things to think about. It's not just about spend money to get the tax deduction. Talk to your accountant, talk to your advisor, talk to us, and have a great day.